Benissimo, buongiorno, buon pomeriggio, buonasera. We're talking about the passato prossimo, and we saw that the difference between present tense and passato prossimo is basically the present tense profile an event that is ongoing, while the passato prossimo expresses that an event is completed. So this is the main difference. Of course, if you express an action that is ongoing, so with the present tense, you place yourself in during the event, while with the passato prossimo, you basically have a perspective that you place yourself after the event or outside of the event because you can see it completed. So this is the idea that we're already quite familiar with. As far as the construction of the passato prossimo, we can notice the following. So we know that we know a little bit how to construct it. We know that it is constructed with two auxiliary verbs, either essere or avere. So in the construction io sono andato, then you see that sono is the auxiliary verb, while andato is the past participle. So sono is the auxiliary verb, which is essere, the verb to be, I am. While in the form io ho parlato, the auxiliary verb is ho, quindi, so is avere, the auxiliary verb in this case. So we see that sometimes we have essere and sometimes we have avere. Why is that? And which one should I pick to construct the passato prossimo correctly? So if you remember, we saw these slides in the previous module, and while we were studying the differences between essere and avere. So the difference in Italian between essere and avere are the following. So you see that Maria è arrivata, so we have a single entity with essere, with to be, which is in light blue, and to the right we have avere, Maria ha mangiato il pane, which is a double entity, Maria and the bread. Then we saw that there's a single entity when we have, for example, Maria è arrivata. There's just Maria, so we don't consider other main players, other types of added definition, added information that you can add to the structure. So we cannot answer to the question what. This is the classical definition of intransitive verbs. But there's also the focus that is much more on the participant in Maria è arrivata, so the balance goes to the subject, while Maria ha mangiato il pane, we have a transfer of energy to the patient of this sentence, so the action chain goes into the bread. So again, we put more focus on the subject with essere, while with avere we have more focus on the object, and then the state or location is affected, the agent is affected with essere, while with avere is the agent, it's the patient, sorry, so the receiver of the action that is affected. So this is just to review a little bit what essere, the differences between essere and avere. So let's see now with the construction and how because we have four different situations, and they are just the same that we just saw before. I mean, a couple of the same that we just saw revised, and they are just in a slightly different presentation. So here we have the main use of essere, the prototypical use, which is the most important, most standard, if you want, which is the use of essere profiling a change of location. So Mario è andato a casa. So there's a change of location. Then essere is the characteristic for that. So you use it for any change of location, which is andare, venire, arrivare, ritornare, so to come back, go, leave, and so on. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the prototypical use of avere, where the agent affects a patient. So Mario ha comprato il pane. Okay, so we have Mario here, the subject, and the object, the bread. So we have two entities in this situation. In this one, we just have one entity that moved from one location to another. Okay, so these are the prototypical uses. But then if we keep going, we have that essere is used also to profile a change of state, which is also, if you want, here the best thing that you can do is to try to see some similarities between these two situations. So talking about a change of location is not that different than profiling a change of state. it is also a change of state. So we can use we use essere with Mario è morto, for example, he died, or anche è nato, so to be born, and all verbs that profile a change of state. This is when we use essere. And also we have a fourth situation here, which is with avere, when we have verbs that profile an action description. So they describe an action, and they don't describe their meaning is not the changing of a location. So for example, we have Mario ha camminato per 2 ore. When we talk about Mario ha camminato, he walked 2 hours, we just are describing the action that Mario was doing for 2 hours, but we are not, that verb does not have in itself the meaning of changing a location. So it's completely different than the situation with andare, although it is also a description of a subject in itself. So he has completed an action. Okay, so for this reason, basically, this verb, there's a whole group of verbs that use avere as an auxiliary verb, even if they behave in all reality like essere. Okay, so they don't use, they don't have a direct object, so they don't behave like a prototypical avere verbs. They behave more like essere, but they describe an action completed, an action in itself, and so therefore they use avere. So this is maybe this last one is probably the most difficult categories to identify, but I think if you go by this plan of action, if you want, it should be fairly easily to move around. This is kind of a map in the choice of the auxiliary verb in the passato prossimo in Italian. So yeah, for any question, absolutely contact me as soon as you can, and I will try to explain it again or better, or maybe if you have a specific question about something that is not clear in this presentation, I can create a different one. So yeah, just let me know, and I hope this helps, and a presto. Ciao, ciao.